Greetings. I'm Dr. Pearl John from Logos Management and welcome to the Other 167. We continue our series on the women of the Bible. Today we delve into the life of Ruth, a figure whose narrative shines brightly in the pages of the scriptures. Ruth's narrative is a profound tale of loyalty, faith, and divine providence. It speaks of resilience in the face of adversity, the power of redemption, and the beauty of unwavering commitment. Ruth's life unfolds during a tumultuous time in Israel's history. Yet, she exemplifies how God can bring beauty out of brokenness and turn tragedy into triumph. Through three key sub-themes, we will uncover the depth and richness of Ruth's narrative and its application to our contemporary lives. The first sub-theme I'd like us to focus on is resilient faith in the face of adversity. Resilient faith in the face of adversity. In Ruth chapter 1 verses 16 and 17, we find Ruth in a conversation with Naomi, and she replied, "Don't urge me to leave you or to turn back from you. Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people. Your God, my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if even death separates you and me." Now that's a powerful statement from a woman of a heathen origin. It begins with immense loss and sorrow. She is a Moabite widow who, instead of returning to her own people, chooses to stay with her mother-in-law. Ruth's declaration of loyalty is one of the most heartfelt expressions of faith and commitment in the Bible. Her decision to embrace Naomi's people and God demonstrates remarkable resilience and a profound trust in God's plan. Ruth's faith is not passive, it is active and courageous. Despite the uncertainty of the future, she steps out in faith, leaving behind her familiar world to an unknown land. This act of resilience in the face of adversity is a testament to her character and faith. In our lives, we often face situations where the future seems uncertain and the path forward is fraught with challenges. Ruth's life encourages us to remain resilient and steadfast in our faith, trusting that God is with us even in the darkest of times. Her example teaches us the power of loyalty and the importance of standing by those we love, even when it requires personal sacrifice. Consider the story of Parimalai, a young woman who, after losing her job and facing financial difficulties, chooses to volunteer at a local NGO. Despite her own struggles, she finds joy and purpose in helping others. Her resilience and faith inspired those around her, and she eventually finds a new job through connections made at the shelter. Like Ruth, she demonstrates that faith and perseverance can lead to unexpected blessings and opportunities. The second sub-theme I'd like us to focus on is redemption through relationships. Redemption through relationships. Ruth chapter 2 and verse 12, we find, "May the Lord repay you for what you have done. May you be richly rewarded by the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge." Ruth's encounter with Boaz is a pivotal moment in her story. Boaz, a kinsman, redeemer, takes notice of Ruth's hard work and kind heart. He provides her with protection, and resources, recognizing her loyalty to Naomi and her faith in God. This relationship between Ruth and Boaz highlights the theme of redemption through relationship. Boaz's actions towards Ruth are not just about fulfilling a genuine duty, but is an act of kindness and compassion. He sees Ruth's worth and extends grace and generosity to her. And this relationship ultimately leads to Ruth's redemption as she becomes part of the lineage of David and ultimately Jesus Christ. In our lives, we can find redemption and transformation through our relationship with God. Acts of kindness and compassion and support can profoundly impact our lives and the lives of those around us. Ruth's story encourages us to seek and nurture relationships that are grounded in love, faith, and mutual respect. Consider Rash, a community leader who, despite facing significant personal challenges, dedicates his time to mentoring at-risk youth. Through his guidance and support, many of these young people find a sense of purpose and direction, escaping cycles of poverty and crime. This leader's investment in relationships brings about a transformation, much like Boaz's action towards Ruth. The third sub-theme I'd like us to consider is radiance of God's providence. Radiance of God's providence. In Ruth 4:13 and 14, so Boaz took Ruth and she became his wife, and when he made love to her, the Lord enabled her to conceive, and she gave birth to a son. The woman said to Naomi, "Praise be to the Lord, who this day has not left you without a guardian redeemer. May he become famous throughout Israel." The culmination of Ruth's story is a powerful testament of God's providence. Ruth and Boaz's marriage and the birth of their son Obed signify the restoration and blessing that come from God's hand. Naomi, who once felt abandoned and bitter, experiences joy and renewal through Ruth's faithfulness and God's provision. Ruth's inclusion in the genealogy of Jesus Christ underscores the significance of her narrative. Despite her Moabite heritage, she becomes an integral part of God's redemptive plan for humanity. This demonstrates a very clear focus of God's providence, that it transcends human limitations and prejudices, weaving together a beautiful narrative of grace and redemption. In our own lives, we may sometimes feel overlooked or unworthy. Ruth's life reminds us that God has a plan for each of us, and his providence is always at work. No matter our background or circumstances, we are valued and cherished by God, and he can use us to fulfill his purposes. Consider the journey of an immigrant family who, despite facing numerous challenges and prejudices, worked tirelessly to build a better life. Through their perseverance and faith, they not only achieve success, but also contribute significantly to their community. In our own lives, we may sometimes feel overlooked or unworthy. Ruth's life reminds us that God has a plan for each of us, and his providence is always at work. No matter our background or circumstances, we are valued and cherished by God, and he can use us to fulfill his purposes. Consider the journey of an immigrant family who, despite facing numerous challenges and prejudices, worked tirelessly to build a better life. Through their perseverance and faith, they not only achieve success, but also contribute significantly to their community. Their story reflects the radiance of God's providence, showing that he can bring about extraordinary blessings from humble beginnings. Ruth's story is a timeless narrative of resilience and redemption and divine providence. Her life exemplifies the beauty of unwavering faith, the power of redemptive relationships, and the radiance of God's providential care. As we reflect on Ruth's journey, may we be inspired to live lives marked by faith, loyalty, and trust in God's plan. So we have Ruth, a narrative of loyalty, love, and redemption. A narrative that reminds us that God can take even the most difficult circumstances and turn them into something beautiful. Join us next week as we explore the narrative of Hannah. Until then, have a wonderful weekend and a fabulous week ahead. God bless you.